just spoke about the flyover. I am aware that the Ramat Park is a federal government-owned park. The Bini Auchi Road is a federal government. Number one, Bini Auchi Okene Abuja Road is in Ramat Park. We are hearing that it is federal government that is building the flyover. We don't. Some of us are even asking, assuming state government, are you building a pedestrian bridge or you are building a flyover? Because the details of all of this are not in the public place. I want you to go back like a child that is smart and respond to this video with more detailed information. What was the cost of that project? What is the cost of the Sapele Road? Who owns the Sapele Road palliative work being done? Who owns? Because we are aware that the Ekpoma Road, because the governor has been going there to monitor it as a supervisor, doesn't mean there is a state-owned project. Because all of you are trying to bamboozle a lot of lies in the public place and deceive people. I am aware that a few of these schools that will be commissioned, right, as 100 days in office, that all of you are rushing to do. Thank God for Dr. Padiyamu, who knows the embarrassment this is going to bring and is rushing. There are informations now that seems like it was an Obaseki own project. And for Obaseki, I was an Obaseki fan, and I say that everywhere. I didn't defend Obaseki. I was one of Obaseki's greatest critics while he was in government. As recent as the crisis that happened in the airport exit gate, I criticized Obaseki, and I used words that I'm not proud of. Because I was called by my mentor and a few other persons. That was actually the governor. That was even the people that were my friends in the camp called me and said, "But that's too much. I don't think governor do." They were trying to explain to me. That's how much I was a heavy critic of the government. Unfortunately, when it was time to get into the next era, I knew that the best person was Asun Ighodalo. And appreciating the fact that Obaseki had done laudable reforms. Of course, I queried a few things that he did. But one thing that I always thank Obaseki for is shutting down Agbeoism from his government that you guys have returned back. And no educated person, no smart person will be happy to see that Agberus are now the PROs and marketers and projectors of a state like Edo. And so for any reason, I knew that this was going to happen. And so I kicked against the APC-led government returning to the state, because all of the tout and Agberos that have been retired for several, and so even if I don't appreciate Obaseki for everything.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, you see, you are seeing the picture of Mr. Common Sense here once again. You see, a few days ago, I made a video reacting to the video Mr. Common Sense made when he said he was in Benin and he didn't see anything that Governor Mondobewolo has done, you know, trying to push a narrative, you know, trying to push a propaganda, because in that their PDP camp, those of them that are supporting Asun Ighodalo, they are known as propagandists. They thrive in telling lies. They thrive in pushing narratives that are not. However, I'm here to clear your doubt, Mr. Common Sense. And first of all, I will commend you for keeping this conversation at the level of intellect. You know, you didn't come low for insult or bantering of words and whatnot, in as much as I said in my previous video that when we were general and all of that, you know. However, you said I was threatening you in that previous video. No, I didn't threaten you. I just told you the sad reality, because sometimes not until you release the rod on some certain persons, their sense will not come back to normal. Moving away from there, let's discuss the subject. You said in your video that you are hearing, or you guys are hearing, that the Ramat Park flyover is a federal government project. First of all, that is a lie. And you are trying to push a narrative. You are trying to use propaganda to push a false narrative against Governor Mondobewolo. You said, oh, which company is handling the project? Probably you are not following the news, but please do a research. Go and check CCECC. That means China Civil Engineering Construction Corporation. Go and check it. They are the one handling the flyover at Ramat Park. Then you also push another narrative, which is another cheap lie, saying that the schools that Governor Mondobewolo is renovating now, which is spearheaded by Padiyamu, you know, that it was paid for by the previous administration. I want to dare you, and I want to challenge any PDP person that is seeing this video, because I've been hearing that narrative over the years, over time now rather, that Governor Mondobewolo is renovating schools that Obaseki paid for. Please, can the PDP show us a document where Governor Obaseki paid for the renovations of those schools. If you cannot provide it, then you guys are liars. You see, Mr. Common Sense, this debate, you will lose credibility. I put it to you. You will lose credibility because I will be forced to call you Mr. No Sense in this video. Because before you come outside to say something that you can defend. Now, election was around the corner. During the period of election till when election elapsed, or rather after the election, as the case may be, if Governor Obaseki had paid for renovation of school, he would have been doing it during election so that he can use it for campaign. Common sense should tell you that, and you call yourself common sense. Then you are saying that the Benin Sapele Road and the Benin Auchi Road is a federal government project. We do not argue that. That is not something to be argued. But you must understand that when Obaseki was in power, he was using flimsy excuse to free himself from being dragged from Edo people to pay attention to that road. Now, you are saying that the Governor Modubewolo government is characterized by tout, aka Agberu. I look at you and I laugh. I mean, what moral standard do you have to call somebody an Agberu? In what ramification are you better than those you are referring to as Agberu? Can you please tell us? Is it because you have a piece of A4 paper that you call certificate that you acquired from one school or something like that? And if we say we should check, we should do a background check on how you acquired your certificate, maybe exam malpractice is involved. Come on. Not they come here, You see, sometimes when some of you are privileged to know how to speak this English, that is even a borrowed language, you think you are at the pinnacle of knowledge. You don't do that. You come out. This narrative, you have been saying it over time. Oh, they are Agberu, they are Agberu. I mean, are you better than Comrade Tony Kabaka? In any standard. I mean, in any standard, including the academics where you say you get. Are you better than Abo Stone in any standard? We are talking about people who have been able to build wealth for themselves. People who have numbers of staff that are working under them. People who are able to sustain their wealth. They're not the learner for school, bro. You don't go to school to learn how to sustain wealth. Then you call people like that Agberu. People who are able to keep human relationship. They have good relationship with people. That is the reason why they are relevant in the Edo political space. You think it's by coming on social media to speak English? The Obaseki you are talking about now, Tony Kabaka has more political value than him in the Edo state as at now as we speak. Because why? Tony Kabaka is able to maintain relationship with people while Obaseki could not. They know they use academics till they bear that one. See, let me leave it here for now. There are more to be said, but for the purpose of for this video to be short, let me leave it here for now. You will hear from me.